Five. Oh, there we go.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Masters of the Retroverse. I am one of your hosts, Adam, and with me, as usual, is David. What's up, buddy?
Here's what's up. What's up? How you guys doing?
Good,
Now we're
good.
live.
Yeah, we're live. What's up? What's up, YouTubers?
We're live.
I'm gonna let you introduce our guest. We have a special guest this week, and I'm gonna let David introduce him.
All right. So this guy is pretty freaking awesome. Met him a long time ago, about 2013. Full of energy. Knows everything you need to know about G.I. Joe. Man, he's a go-getter. Edwards. Warren Edwards. Great man. How you doing, Warren?
How's it going?
Hey, man, what's going on? So we have a pro. What was the term that you used, David?
Shit, what did I? No, I fucking don't know, man. I've been drinking.
MOE or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's me. Yeah, it's me, man.
SME. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the head SME for the G.I. Joes, apparently. You come highly recommended.
Highly recommended. I remember how excited he was when the G.I. Joe movie came out. He was like freaking going insane. I remember that.
You talking about the live action one just a few years ago?
The Burn. Yeah. Not the
that was pretty awesome.
I think it was the first one. Yeah. Can't hear you talking. You're just sitting there rocking, dude.
No, I can hear you.
Ship.
Got to make sure the boy wasn't freaking out over here.
Oh, it's all right, man.
It's too late for that, though.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's all right, man.
Our little youngest podcaster. This is the youngest podcaster that we've had on this show. Youngest guest we've ever had.
Sweet. That's what I'm talking about.
What did you think about the G.I. Joe movies? The live action ones?
They weren't so bad. I mean, some of the characters and they didn't really follow according to the comic books, but they were trying to do something that was different. And I understand the whole like Hollywood aspect to it, but you're missing a lot of characters on there, like Stalker and the origin of Snake Eyes. You know, that was one of the big ones I wish they would have done more on, was the actual origin of Snake Eyes itself. And they did, man. If they can make the origin of Wolverine and butcher that, then they should be able to do the origin of Snake Eyes and do a great job with it.
Yeah, they should. They should
They
do
could have
that.
added Stalker, and
That should have been
they updated like IDW comics and stuff with the ripcord, and yeah, they could have done a lot better with it. But it overall wasn't so bad, but could always be better.
Yeah, they should do that though. They should definitely do a Snake Eyes like standalone movie. I'd like to see that. I mean, they gave a little bit of his origin, I guess, but not enough. And he's always kind of been the coolest one, you know. When I was a kid playing G.I. Joes, me and my brother would always fight over who got the.
I mean, definitely in the '80s, it was all, you know, ninja this and ninja that. And when they created Snake Eyes, they had a huge chance to do something they did there in the '80s with a good backstory of Vietnam and what happened to him in the comic books and how he wound up losing his voice. And other than, you know, his master wound up dying, he chose a vow of silence. I mean, like, it could have been, I don't know about all that. Could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
How did he lose his voice? I've always wondered that. Because I've never read the comics. I watched the cartoons and stuff as a kid.
Voice in a helicopter crash with Scarlet and Stalker, actually. And he wound up getting his face like pretty much like burned, and it just destroyed his larynx, and that's pretty much how it happened.
So that's why he always wears the masks too, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
That's crazy. Yeah. I don't think there wasn't a day. Sorry, I'm reaching back a little bit in our conversation already, but I think I was nothing but ninjas in the 80s for Halloween.
Yeah, it was all about the ninjas.
I was all about the ninjas.
What's up, ninjas? Hey, so what got you in the G.I. Joes?
Let's see. My dad was a big collector in the 60s and 70s when he was a kid, and my earliest memories was, you know, getting a G.I. Joe and having them when I was small. Hell, I remember having the Sergeant Slaughter. I remember my sister putting him on a cord and sending him flying down a hole, which he never came back from. And yeah, hopefully she's still paying for that one. But
Yeah.
It's I've been following that ever since. I remember when they came back in the '90s when they started the new deal with that. That was pretty cool. I remember my brother being born and he started actually playing with GI Joes and whatnot. And I think it was 2007. I actually started getting back into it. I remember somebody got one when I was in Iraq. I remember stealing that from him and putting that one together. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I got back to it in '07 and it started ever since. So it's been pretty crazy. But I do mainly the restoring of the older GI Joes. So that's when Dave caught me.
So you do. I wasn't too sure.
My restoring.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if you did the older GI Joes or not. So I was actually going to ask you if you did the older ones. With that being said, what's like the crown jewel of your collection? Can't hear you. Click the button, dude.
The first one I bought, first started collecting, was a Action Marine from the first series, and I got the box with him.
Now this is the '60s, right?
I have to go down to the dungeon hole here. Set this up.
Can't hear you.
And in fact, this is him. He pretty much just hangs out. That's where he stays. I've had him wherever I go. And now it's dealing with them and Adventure Team. I've been doing a lot of the customs, going with the Adventure Team. Hasbro, since they stopped doing the 12-inch line, they came out with a super articulated body, sort of their version of what Hot Toys and Sideshow's been doing with the 1/6 scale. And they super articulated bodies with the flocked hairs, and so I
look at those beards.
Started building some of my own, started doing a few other things with them, and
hell yeah,
that's kind of a huge thing going off right now. And I'll throw a few more out there for you.
Nice.
All the old school guys in the back there. So yeah, that's
hell yeah.
That's badass, man. That's really cool. So do you collect any of the '80s GI Joes?
Yeah, I collect it. I have a lot of them too. I've sold a few of them now, but right now I think I have Zartan lying here somewhere, and I have boxes and boxes of the little ones from the 25th anniversary GI Joes around here. Well, old Zartan. You got to just love some Zartan in your life.
Yeah, I remember him.
Remember him? He was the color change one back when you were a kid. That's like the best thing you ever saw.
Fucking hypercolor.
Yeah. And let's see here. And then from the 90s, back in this line, they totally stopped it. I wish they wouldn't, though, was the Sergeant Savage. Came with the VHS tape. That was the thing then. That was pretty awesome. But yeah, the young smaller Joes they're getting harder to come by, and if people have them, they're going like a skyrocket. People, do you have some GI Joes, man? Don't be throwing them away. They're worth some bucks right now. Worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I see quite a few of those at the toy show, man. I'm not really big into collecting. That was something my brother was more into. But what are some of the more rare GI Joes?
Well, honestly, I believe some of the rarest ones are really the Cobras. The Cobras are rare. They're hard to come by. The original Straight Arm series was back in '82. They were not hard to come by now, but you can get them a lot. Get them a lot easier. But yeah, the hardest ones to come by. For me alone, I can't ever get my hands on one. I can never get a complete Alley Viper, ever. I've had like 8 of them, and I can never get one complete. And another one that was really hard to come by was Ace, like the astronaut. I think he was pretty hard to come by, but not been able to get my hands on one of him either.
Dude, my brother had one of
And
those.
oh God, wow, yeah. A Cobra Bat. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. You get a completed Cobra Bat, the holographic chest on the inside. That's like 80s to its finest. If you can get one of those, then yeah, you're doing pretty well. But a lot of the ones I've mentioned they have them going a lot on online. The other ones that you can get is Steel Brigade. He was a mail-in. I remember, you guys probably remember him when you were a kid. Steel Brigade. He had a big silver helmet and black goggles. He's a mail-in. If you buy him by himself, he's about $40 to $50 alone. So he is a big piece, and I like to have him. And a bunch of the other mail-ins they had too. They do a lot of the Eco Warriors from the beginning of the '90s. Those ones are hard to come by, and people love those. So they tried to do something like that later, and when they did, they came out with this. I'm trying to think if I have him laying around right now. There he is. So like G.I. Joe came out with their own zombies. So they started off with the Zombie Squad for the Collectors Club, and they actually put out a Toxic Viper, a zombie Viper.
That's
the second
badass.
I saw that, I was on it. I said, okay, we gotta grab that guy.
I don't even collect G.I. Joes, and I'd buy that up in a heartbeat if I saw it, man.
Yeah, they're wild, man. I'm all about those.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
So here's a story, and it's probably gonna make you shit, dude. So I do heating and cooling, and I'm downstairs in this lady's basement working on her furnace, and I get up and I turn around and I look like right underneath her stairs, and there's a huge box there, dude. And guess what it said on it? USS Flag, dude. She had a complete in-box USS Flag. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm not a collector, but I've seen, like, I know what these things are worth. And I asked her, I've been trying to get her to sell it to me. She's like, oh, it's my son's, and he doesn't, I'll have to talk to him about it. I'm like, well, talk to him about it. Because Jordan Pembroke on what's it, Toy Hunters, he came across one, and I think he gave the guy like $2,500 or $3,000 for it. And he said if it's complete, it's worth like $5,000.
No. Go on eBay right now. They're running for anything over $10,000.
Are they really? Oh
yeah.
My God.
Yeah. So down at Memory Lane Comics down in Wilmington, North Carolina, they actually just purchased one. So they got theirs for an unbelievable amount. I think it was like right at what you were saying, $5,000. But
really,
they did they did bartering for it, so they got it for $5,000. But like you go on eBay, there's nothing under $10,000. It's like $9,999.
Yeah,
my God,
those flags are insane. When I lived down in North Carolina, believe it or not, our battalion gunner was a huge G.I. Joe guy, and I've been to his house, and the guys that are huge like that are what we call, obviously you guys have heard of army builders, and they will build and build. And I'm talking about beyond ridiculous amount of ranks of dealing with Cobra Troopers, Alley Vipers, anything you can possibly think of. They just had formations of it, and in the big center of the room is a flag just loaded with every type of friggin' vehicle you could think was on it. He had G.I. Joes all over that thing.
Oh my God.
The guy he got it from happened to be a contractor that worked for the government, and he actually had a garage full of G.I. Joes himself, and he had about 7 or 8 flags.
Oh my God.
And he had so many parts where I would go down there for this guy, and he had asked me to put things together for him, and I did, and he'd pay me in G.I. Joes, that's probably one of the sweetest jobs you could have, to spend an 8-hour day building a vehicle, a headquarters set, and then just sitting there, and then whatever G.I. Joe that you wanted down there, go ahead and take. I mean, I got from Outback to some of the other series that were pretty good, like Tiger Force, and they had the Night Force, and it were nice. It was really good. But yeah, those flags Those are insane.
Okay.
Those are really ridiculous. You ever get your hands on that? That and a gray skull, come see me.
A gray skull, like
Are you
He-Man
serious?
gray skull?
Like the two I have here right now?
I'll say I got a complete one right here.
Yeah, we got a couple. That's why we're called masters of the Retroverse.
Yeah,
Just,
I can get you a gray skull. I'll tell you what, I'll get you a gray skull and I'll trade that to you for that flag.
So what you're saying is you can nod north and south. This is at Gunner Knight's house? What the fuck? I had no clue he collected G.I. Joe. That's insane. That's insane.
I wouldn't have known either until he spotted my tattoos one day, and he goes, "You, come here." And I was like, "Oh, no." He dragged me into his office, and then we just started shooting a shit about G.I. Joe, and I was like, wow. Next thing you know, I'm over at his house, and he's letting me know, hey, there's this, and this, and he's showing me carded figures from, Snake Eyes to Lady J to I was literally lost for words with some of the things that I saw. He had an original Tomax and Zamote in the box. I mean, those two, in the cartoons, you got to love those guys. And they had those out, and I didn't even know what to say to that. I was just looking at him like, you got to be kidding me. And he bought it off an old lady that had it in her attic, and he literally felt bad for taking it for whatever price she was at. So he just wound up giving her like $100. I was like, I can't do it. I just couldn't do it. He actually felt bad.
What?
Oh my God.
Gunner Knight. That's crazy. That's insane. That man felt bad. Usually he doesn't give enough. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So who knows? Maybe just saying, might be able to talk to that man and maybe show his thing on the thing here. You never know. We're not
show his thing on. Oh, ain't nobody showing their thing on here.
Yeah, his thing.
If anybody's gonna show their thing, it's gonna be me.
Right now, I got a contact down in Texas. I just started talking to him a little while ago, and he's buying up figures left and right. I think he spent, and which is what's ridiculous is people are finding this stuff, they're holding on to it, but then they're selling it at an incredibly cheap price, which I can't believe that's happening. He's got 250 Masters of the Universe figures. And 300 of the Little Joes, and he spent another like 200 wrestling figures alone, and he spent $150 on all of it.
Really?
Now down in Texas, the turnaround for wrestling figures is insane, but the G.I. Joe is still just ruining people's lives. It's to the point where people want top dollar for the figures that they have, but in order to sell them, it's not gonna work. So that's why I'll usually just buy them in pieces, and I just rebuild them all. Whatever I can figure out, whatever I could do. And, I think I built probably about 700. And,
really?
anybody that I'm close to, I usually try to pass a Joe out to him. I left too fast to talk to Dave to give him one. So it's a pretty crazy, but yeah, man, you got to spread the G.I. Joes around. And they're dwindling away. Like Hasbro stopped it, and like now it's even the collectors club's gone. So and people are a lot of the older crew, they're crying slowly in their basements trying to hold on to their stuff. So it gets pretty bad.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hold on. Hold on. Can you hear me? Okay. So Adam had to go run to do something real quick. He's gonna be right back. But so you're talking about Masters of the Universe and stuff like that, the Mutois, all that crap. So I'm going to take a little tour out here. My shop's a little messy, but we'll go out that way, and I will show you some of the stuff that I have. I have to leave my house. In a secure, disclosed location, 50 feet from my house, is so we have a lot of and so shit here. There we go. So Snake Mountain, all the way through. There's all the characters, everything. Castle Grayskull, complete. We'll come down here. Got that guy. We got that guy. And then we have the little tiny figures, but we'll go down here too. We got the horse and the battle bones, all that stuff. And then I have, a whole wall of crap over there. I got a few things here. So the dungeon.
That is impressive. That's good to go. That is good to go.
Yeah.
I have
all right.
not a lot of my stuff still in boxes. I've been pulling it out slowly, but I mean I can. Obviously dealing with a lot of the 1/6 scale, and then coming over to here, I've been working on a lot of the NECA and Walking Dead. I've been doing a lot of that. The GI Joes they're always everywhere. They're in boxes. They're in boxes, out of boxes, and we're doing a lot of the Walking Dead. That's what I'm talking about. As you can see, this is my newest piece I got here. It's a 3-0 1/6 scale Rick Grimes.
Oh hell!
Oh, that's badass.
That's my guy. He's good to go.
I got Tyrese.
I don't mind him too much at all whatsoever. But,
I got a couple Daryls. The old Daryls.
Yeah. You got to have
Yeah.
The old Daryls are always good. Here we're on. They're talking about the Retroverse. We're talking about The Walking Dead.
You're right. Well, we talk about it too.
Oh man, I can talk about that all day long. But
one of my friends actually, this was like season two or three, I think, of The Walking Dead, and he actually met Norman Reedus, and he got him to sign his Daryl figure, like in the box and stuff, and he offered it to me for a pretty fair price, but I didn't take him up on it. I'm like, damn, I should have.
Let's just give a little more silence.
I think I had. See, you got to keep. Yeah, that's a good one to have been.
Glenn.
Glenn. Yeah. I mean,
little moment of silence.
You got to have a Glenn. I mean, yeah, that's good to go. That's not bad at all. I know I got the build of sets over there, and I got a lot of the figures laying down. I think from series 3 all the way to now, I had in and out of the boxes. And I got a good deal on some of them. Some people wanted it, and I was winding up, being able to shoot them some other way. But yeah, I mainly got the one I wanted was that 3-0 Rick Grimes, and they just came out with the Daryl Dixon now too. So
really, where'd you find that?
I actually got him on Facebook in one of the sites. Wow. I traded a CM Toys Roman Gladiator, which looks like Spartacus.
Yeah. Yep.
And I traded him for a Rick Grimes straight up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a pretty good trade for me. I was all about it.
I forgot.
But, yeah, you could. I know Sideshow had them on their website and eBay. He was going for anywhere between 130 and 160
on eBay.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
I forgot to add this too. Earlier, Adam hooked me up. Little Modulock in the box right there.
Oh yeah. Are you missing any pieces of that? Was that thing complete? Weren't you missing a couple pieces or something?
And it actually had an extra piece.
Oh, it's got everything plus an extra one? Nice. Okay. I lost audio. There we go. Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. All right, we're good.
Okay.
Got to grab the 2-year-old Predator fan, let him down in the hole. He can't get himself enough.
He likes a Predator, huh?
He cleared my shelf. That's what he did. Yeah, shelf. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you looking for now? Predators, right? I know that.
We had
yeah, that's Daddy's. Which one are you trying to take? You trying to take him? Which one are you looking at? Him. You looking at him? Show him, right. There you go, guy. Don't break it and give it back.
That's why you buy doubles.
I had 18 of those on my shelf. I'm talking like from the Ultimate Jungle Hunter, Ultimate City Hunter, And this guy here, he decides that he's just going to get his hands on it. I don't know. Hey, if he's 2 years old and you like the Predator, and it's like he won't even watch. He likes the Predator. Yeah,
That's
but this, yeah, he keeps asking for this one here. And he's probably not going to get. He's not getting the Hot Toys Predator. Not happening.
No, not at all.
Well, that's awesome, man. You got a hell of a collection. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm all about it. I just got to get stuff going back together. And right now, I believe it or not, one of the best things I have here is my Waterworld boat.
What?
Oh, really?
I got the whole entire collection of the Waterworld figures, so I'm pretty stoked.
Nice. Who made those?
Insane, dude.
Can't hear him again.
Can't hear you again.
Yeah, Kenner made those back in the day, I believe.
Wow.
So the whole entire boat that comes. Yeah, buddy, that's mine. The whole entire boat that comes apart, and then to top it all off. Gonna. All right. Dennis Hopper.
Nice. Oh yeah. Oh my God! I didn't even know they made toys for Waterworld.
Gonna have Kevin Costner every day of the week.
Of course you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. That looks just like him too.
Smoker on a jet ski.
Yep.
I got the whole entire set. Even the boat was also in the box completely. I paid $30 for the whole set, but I just don't see how nobody liked that movie and how it's just sitting aside. But that's probably one of my best pieces of my collection. I think I love that boat. I remember just being like a kid,
a lot of
like,
people,
that movie, just like, damn, I got to get in a boat like that.
Yeah, a lot of people like me though probably never realized that there were toys out for that. So if they're not, that's something that's not very collected. It's not highly collected. So that's awesome because that's the type of stuff that I like about our hobby of collecting this stuff is finding this stuff that's like super cheap that nobody else collects and you can pick it up for next to nothing.
And then all of a sudden it comes back and you're like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially with I got 2 boys now, and I'm not gonna let this stuff pass. You can't let it go away because if you do,
yeah,
it's gonna wind up being like like an older GI Joe on your shelf. He's eventually gonna dry out. He's gonna crack and break and brittle, and then you have nothing to fix him with, and then all of a sudden there it is. A lot of battles, believe it or not, and this is kind of sounds stupid coming from an adult, but all the fights on Facebook and all the chat rooms or whatever is dealing with knockoff figures. But I remember getting into a huge argument with one of the guys because he was mad that people make knockoff figures and it ruins from the actual figure prices itself. But you also have to think about, Hasbro didn't have any fixable parts when they came out with the original G.I. Joes in '64. If you broke a G.I. Joe, you'd have to buy another one in order to repair it. They didn't start coming out with stuff like that until Cotswold actually came out with some version of it, and they were actually able to, interchange the parts itself. But when they came out with the 40th reproduction, still it wasn't the biggest thing. So a lot of people, they would get rid of everything. So what I would do is I was buying lots online of a lot of the broken G.I. Joes and older ones. So now I have this whole case here full of just parts from heads to calves to fists, wrists, to shoulders to whatever, just in case something does happen. And, it's going to come to a time where people are going to be, begging for that stuff. Yeah, buddy, those are Daddy's custom Predators, and I'm not done with them yet. Yeah, take it easy. But yeah, they're gonna go away, and there's not gonna be a replacement part. So it's kind of like the Mezco 112 figures that are out now. There's knockoff versions of them, but if one of them breaks, All right, that's $140 in some of the figures. That's down the drain right there. So it's good to have a knockoff figure just for the parts or replacement pieces. And again, even with the Little Joes, if you have to have a broken figure, so I'll say like a broken Alley Viper in order to fix an actual Alley Viper. So you're losing one. There's always one deteriorating, one going away. It's like it's like having a museum and it's just it's falling apart and there's nowhere to repair it. So you have to have some form of knockoff version just in order to keep the original one somewhat alive. So, soon it'll be, Dave, you'll be like, oh, well, my He-Man's body has got a dollar store body, but I got the original Atom head on there, so it's all good to go, That's just the way it's supposed to be. It happens. It's going to be that way. I mean, hell, I got one of these figures here. I don't know if you guys remember in the Cops.
Yeah.
In the 80s. All right. I don't even know where I found that, but I remember seeing it. I'm like, he's not going. I got to take that guy with me. I remember being a kid and seeing that.
See, I need to start scooping up more of that stuff when I go to the toy shows because I see stuff like that all the time. The Cops and like the Sharks and stuff like that. I mean, dude, that's the type of stuff I need to start picking up, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So
yeah, it's almost sad when you see the newer kids run around. They got a damn Hatchimal or something ridiculous like that. You know what I mean? They want an iPod or something like that, and you're like, what the hell are you doing that for? It's like all I wanted was the Rambo tower in the '80s with all the Rambo figures ready to rock and roll.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like we gotta. What is going on with you kids? I mean, I remember the Michael Keaton Batcave, from Batman. Like, come on now, let's get that going again. But they're not the same way. I guess we were younger. I remember just taking everything you had outside, whether it was the Mask vehicles.
Oh, I love
He-Man.
Mask.
All of a sudden, they're battling. 1989 Batman with a retractable belt.
Oh yeah,
it didn't matter. But yeah, it's kind of sad when you look at everything and you start seeing stuff disappear. You would hope that, all the other collectors, if you're going to trade or you're going to do some sort of business with each other, you're just hoping that the figure goes to a good home and just like stays inside of the museum. It stays inside I guess you could say, the Retroverse. You know what I mean? They got to keep it alive because if it disappears, man, it's gonna suck. Because there's a lot of good figures back in the day that made way for everything that we see now, from the original action figure, G.I. Joe. 1963. I mean, shit. Like, come on now. That's what we're talking about. He's the one that created the 1/6 scale. I mean, hell, he even battled Mego when Mego started in the late 70s. I mean, come on. Like, he came out with Super Joe and he fought his way. And then he reconstructed the whole entire 3 3/4 scale. And they had nothing but competition ever since 82. I mean, come on. Stop. And it was heartbreaking when they shut the club down. I almost just cried in my pillow. It was sad. The last figure they make is Mike Powers and the man of the Atomic Man everybody's been wanting. I bought the only glow in the dark 12-inch figure that G.I. Joe had available, Dr. Isotope, and it is fucking sweet. This dude glows in the dark. It's probably one of the coolest figures I've seen they've had in a while. But he's standing next to what Hasbro's version of Man of Evil.
Yeah.
And you can't go wrong with those, I mean, when they made those, I about shit myself. I took that real quick. But
for the Thunderbird Go. Thunderbirds or Go, you remember them?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
All right.
We can hear you, man. Now we can't hear you. What is going on with his audio?
Oh, no.
This is crazy.
My phone sucks, but it's working out all right, I suppose. No, you ain't holding that, dude. That's a 16-inch Predator. You're crazy. No, sorry. Hot Toys isn't anything up on this in the glass case, dude. You can't touch. Yeah, that's like me handing you this Tom Brady rookie card. That's not happening. Yeah, man. Bowman's Chrome rookie card. You can't have it.
So, what has
Oh
brought
man.
you into where you're
But yeah,
actually
I'm glad you guys got a show like this. I'm glad to see that this is on here. I'm gonna be going through YouTube like I have been usually and just listening to you guys' stuff.
Oh, thanks, man.
Not all
I
of them are
appreciate you
great.
guys reaching out to me though. I started that
Drunk for a
page
couple.
on Facebook there just so people can come by and take a look at it. Maybe they can see something that, or at least have a place to store their stuff. So I think that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see that, Dave, you're still holding up you always were talking He-Man or whatever. And at the time I was like, yeah, this guy's just going with the flow, trying to make it look like I'm not a turd or whatever. And then lo and behold, you're the crown jewel of He-Man living down there. Oh my goodness. I'm loving it. Loving it. This is good to go.
So let's talk about where you are right now with your collection and what the future holds for you. So I see that you are starting to start like a shop. Is that right?
Right now with my collection where it is, I how can I say this? I'm not always into the newest thing that's out there, but I'm always looking at something if it catches my eye. But my shop is pretty much my own collection that I have, and it's things that I would like to see go somewhere else, maybe because I can't display it, or it's just something that's just, hey, this would look good with somebody else if they have something really nice diorama that they would like to have. And like I got a box of, McFarlane Halo figures. I'm talking like I'm almost 30 of them. It's be great to see someone be able to just have them out and see what they can do with it. Even with G.I. Joe, like I said, I've sold a lot of my little Joes just because I know where they're headed and I know what's going to be going on with them. So I was pretty impressed to see that they could get the TLC that they really needed. It's not a matter of like I need to sell it for money or I need to do this or do that, but they're going to a place where that they're going to be displayed. They're going to be enshrined. They're going to be, it's going to be looked at. I mean, you can call it nerd fever or whatever you want to call it, man, but that's just the way it is. You got to look at it that way. I'm not going to let something go to some place where I think it's going to be, trashed or ripped or torn to pieces. That's not going to happen for no price. But anyways, with my collection, I think I'm looking more on the lines of I'm with a lot with NECA, and I stay a lot with the vintage G.I. Joes. And I always like to dabble in a little bit of everything. And just like to keep the collection alive a little bit more. But I think the one thing I don't have is He-Man, and I got to get on that.
Yeah, He-Man's good, man, but it's starting to become popular again, especially with the Scuttlebutt, which there's been Scuttlebutt of a movie, and Adam told me about it a few episodes ago, and I don't think they're ever gonna actually make this movie because the first He-Man movie, they didn't even have, what was it? They went up to where the swords touched in the lightning bolt. That was where the budget took them to. So, I don't think anybody will ever commit to making a great He-Man movie that needs to be made and actually tell the story of He-Man, not, throw Dolph Lundgren in there because he's jacked. I want to see some freaking substance. I don't want to see space keys and weirdness and, Skeletor. What the fuck was up with Skeletor in that movie?
Yeah, and they have troll instead of
subject.
Orko. Dude, you gotta have fucking Orko.
They can't afford Orko.
They couldn't, and that's why they did what they did, because they couldn't afford the CGI or they couldn't afford the special effects to do an Orko.
Yeah,
I was like, well, how hard can it be?
They're dumb.
Yeah. I mean, it's Orko. I mean, if Power Rangers can rebuild Alpha 5, they should have no problem building an Orko. I mean, come on now. We've seen King Kong come back, and we've seen, they CGI'd Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay?
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger and Terminator Genesis, and you can't make an Orko? I mean, that's something you really got to think about here. That's a little off the wall, I think it's the same way. That's how we felt with the G.I. Joe films. They brought stuff back, but again, they made Firefly. I mean, they used a great actor, Ray Stevenson. I mean, if he's gonna play Predator, if he's gonna play Punisher, man, he's gonna be able to play Firefly. Firefly gets beat by The Rock. Are we serious? Right? There's no way a Firefly is gonna get beat by the Scorpion King. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But they totally ruined that one. That was kind of a mess.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I liked Firefly with the little bombs and stuff. That was pretty cool, man, the way they did it. So, The Rock, like, he was different and excuse me, I apologize. He was different with the whole G.I. Joe thing. Usually you didn't see big characters like that in G.I. Joe.
I mean, yeah, they when they made the movie, it was great, but then they didn't have a lot of the characters they were looking for. Even like Zartan. I mean, we wanted to see Zartan in the hood. We wanted to see Zartan changing colors. We wanted to see Gung Ho. There was no Gung Ho, not one. And if they did, they would have covered up his EGA on his chest, and then of course I would have been just sick to my stomach.
Your therapy. You want to see Gung Ho after action figure therapy. Everybody's going to want to see him because he was so popular because the 80s, and then somebody brought him back, a disgruntled Lance Corporal. Can't hear you.
And my daughter just came running down the stairs. Who are you talking to? I was like, I'm talking on the podcast. She actually has followed in Daddy's footsteps, and she is the little pet shop customizer now. She does a word number with these, making YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, really?
That's half the reason why I think I made the store too, is so she had something to deal with when it comes to that. I'd like her to keep it up. I think the oldest figure she has actually is I got them for was the Charlie's Angels Mego figures in the box back in the 70s. She had I don't even remember their names. I know she had Farrah Fawcett and she has somebody else too, so who knows. But yeah. Well, actually, no, you had what was the other one we got?
Who's Farrah Fawcett?
No, it was Jane West from the Johnny West series back in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, she had Jane and Janice West. I got her those for her birthday once. So in the box, so that was pretty cool. So she's all about that. You want to say hi to the Retroverse?
Hi.
But yeah, it's
I don't know what Adam's doing. He's just kind of sitting there.
Sorry. Doing my thing. Doing my social media thing here.
Yeah, he's talking.
Yeah.
Keep the chat going on, live chat. So
Right. Yep.
is there anything fucking came up from that? Any questions or anything for?
Not yet. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. It's all good.
Yep. It's the way it is. Well, that's cool, man. You got a badass collection.
thanks.
You know,
Thanks, man. I mean,
I tip my hat to you
listen,
for
you ain't touching the Hot Toys box, guy. Get out
I
of
tip
here.
my hat to you for paying it forward to your kids and hopefully getting them involved in the
it's
collecting
it's good to
and
see that a lot of other
keep
people
it
feel
going.
the same way about it.
Yeah, it was a proud moment when my oldest son bought his first.
He can't help it trying to get in there with this, but that's pretty cool. But I do appreciate you guys letting me come on here, and give a little shout out for Edward's Toy Emporium there on Facebook. I'm pretty pumped about that, and thanks for reaching out to me, you guys. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, you give a shout out to talent. Old Cheeto cover, where's he at?
Not him. I still got nightmares about that guy. That's a hot mess. That's a mess. That is a mess. Ugh.
He loves you, man.
Well, David, should we get into our weekly rant on 7 days?
We can, yeah. I don't know if he plays Xbox as well. I don't know if he plays 7 Days to Die. You play that one? You heard of it?
Yeah, you need to find it. You need to get it. Well, yes and no.
Well, it's a great game.
It's a great game. Here's my problem. I texted you. I rage quit that shit this morning. Second time in like 2 weeks that I guess the file or something's gone corrupted and we've lost all our shit, like everything that we've built.
Yep.
I'm done. I'm done with it. It's pissed me off, man. I don't
know, man. I think it's your server, dude. I think it's your server because my server, knock on wood, is good to go. I haven't had any problems with it.
But Merc had issues with his.
It might be something that hasn't been done on my map that was done on both of those maps that might have caused it.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, because we were playing then the other night on Mercs, and he got kicked.
Yeah.
We logged back in, and all the boxes that we put up were gone. All the shit that we work for, man. They got to fix that shit. They got to fix that shit.
I think that is how they're fixing that shit.
Man, they got to do something.
So,
it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, when you work for, a week, a couple weeks, a month.
The amount of hours put in.
Yeah, the amount of hours that we put in and all that shit's gone. I mean, I don't know. I just don't have faith in it anymore. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
So I got that Dead Island. So I think I want to play that. I want to play that co-op with you for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun, man. I forgot how fun that was. So I had it on the 360, and then with my rage quitting the other night or this morning, I decided to go out and buy it for the Xbox One, and I played it for about an hour this afternoon, and it's fun, man. I mean, it's basically 7 Days to Die without the building factor of it. I like the fact that you find resources to make different stuff, and zombies seem a little bit easier to kill too.
Well, all you got to do is aim at the head.
Yeah.
One shot if you hit the head, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fun game, man. I forgot how fun it was. And then once State of Decay 2 comes out, though, man, it's on.
Yeah. Or Dead Matter. Give me my PC, brother.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool looking game too, man. It looks pretty neat.
The beta game out there right now on your mobile device. It's a Last Day on Earth. I recommend you guys definitely downloading that. That's a cool game. You're building things. You're building resources. You're farming. You're going to army bunkers. You're fighting zombies. You're doing everything. So it's like a combination of. I'm
gonna find it right now.
How can I say this? It's almost like a combination of like Left 4 Dead and what's that other one there? State of Decay.
Okay, yeah.
So
Last Day on Earth Survival. Pretty good. Oh yeah. I'm gonna download that.
What you got, Adam?
What? Yeah, I found it.
Last Earth.
But they're doing updates. I think it's every Sunday they'll do an update. So if you got an Android device, it comes out a little bit faster. So like Monday or Tuesday, the new update will always hit you. And I mean, I've been playing it since it first came out. It gets better and better and better and better. But yeah, it's good. It's really good. They had a lot of people, and of course, there's always people that are complaining. But
it's any game.
Yeah, that's any game.
It's any game. But 7 Days has a special spot in my heart for delivering my daily dose of hatred.
Yep. For a while now. Yep.
Yeah.
It is. I like the scavenging aspect of it more than anything. I think I found. Like I think as a group, me, you, and Merc, and then Controller, I think we've all kind of found our little niche. It's like Merc's the builder. You're the resource getter. It's cool, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for that State of Decay to come out, though. I cannot wait for that, man. That's gonna be fun. I love the first one. Yeah.
What is that new? There's a new game on PS4 too coming out. I can't remember the name of it. My brother was telling me, but man, does that if I was a PS4 guy, I'd be all over that. It almost makes you just want to buy the PS4 just to play this game. I can't think of what it's called, and if you guys know what it is, let me know. But yeah, it looks sweet.
It's Days Gone. Days Gone.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good, man. I'll tell you what, if I could find a PS4,
Mike is killing me.
If I could find a PS4 for cheap enough, man, I'd swoop it up, and then just to get that game.
Yeah, it looks good, man. It looks good. I'll be honest with you. Days Gone looks good as hell. It's good. It's another rail game. It's open world, but it's still rail. There's still like one main mission. You hit from one main mission to one main mission, but there's little side missions. So obviously, it's like your Dead Island or any other goes third person. So you see him the whole time running around. I'm pretty sure you might be able to switch to first person. I'm not sure, but everything I've watched on it, I watched the whole the 10-minute video him running around the sawmill, and it's no shit like World War Z zombies, like just crawling all over each other, like coming at you and stuff like that, and like you're shooting out planks to drop wood, so like it stops them from coming one path, so you can go another way. It's got a great architectural system to gameplay. So as long as you can see it or figure it out, you know what I mean, as you're going, then it's a great game. So.
Yep. Well, cool, man. Well,
all right.
Yeah. So 7 days sucks, and I'm moving on.
7 days. 7 days is awesome, but it sucks.
I'm mad at it right now. I'm really mad at it right now. Yep.
I'm mad at you, fun pimps.
Yep. I downloaded a new game for my Nintendo Switch. I got the new Sonic Mania, and it's pretty cool. It's basically they revised all the original Sonics. So so what is that? The green area or whatever, like level 1 is the same for the most part, but it's different. Yeah. So they modernized it, they changed it, but it's still a side-scrolling game and everything. It's pretty badass.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good for $20. You know, I know it's on Xbox. Pretty sure it's on PS4 probably, and but yeah, so that's about it. You want to wrap this up?
Yeah, man, we'll wrap it up.
All right, cool. All right, well, thanks everybody for listening. Make sure you go check out our network that we are a part of. It's High Voltage Radio. They are on Facebook. Just search for High Voltage Radio. There's tons of other awesome podcasts on the network. Everything from Pittsburgh Nerd to Attack of the Fangirl, and we've got Z-Poc Nation, so another zombie podcast. So so go check it out. If you're on Xbox, you can find me at xbadwolf79x, and you can find us on Twitter at MOTRetro. We're on Facebook. Make sure you go like our Facebook page, and as far as it's YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Bye, you, David.
Yep, you can find me on Xbox as Turmoil, spelled totally wrong, TERMOIL 77, and then on the PSN, same thing, but 1977.
Cool. All right. Well,
All right.
Thanks everybody for listening. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with us and talking G.I. Joe, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. And I guess we'll see everybody next week. See ya.
Yeah, cool, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys letting me on. It was
All right.
It's a good time. Always a good time, especially talking to Dave here.
Yep.
He starts getting y'all fired up real quick and get you real pissed real fast. You gotta love it. No wonder why his gamer tags Turmoil. But yeah, like I said, you guys can find me at Edwards Toy Emporium, and if you're looking for anybody that's dealing with like the little pet shops, whatever, my daughter's got the videos out there. It'd be Kavanaugh Edwards on YouTube. You know, like, comment, or subscribe, she would say. So if you're looking for something funny to laugh at, you go ahead and look at that. That's a hoot and a holler there.
Nice.
But yeah, thanks you guys for having me on here, and I'm definitely going to be subscribing to you guys real quick. Thanks.
All right, awesome,
All right.
man. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah, man. Good talking to you. All right. We'll see everybody next week.
All right.